Chenko from the Ukraine, second in the Junior World Championships this year.
And just a single axel from Evgenia. Might remember if you saw it in the short that they went for double axels and fell on that. So their coach Igor Talon saying to her, just do the single today and make it short. Oh, but lots of length on that throw double axel. Very nearly made that one. And the nice overhead lift was flowing before, and there, toe loops and Salchows doubles both. Music, the last of the Mohicans, and the outfits representing that. Oh dear, and that can really wind you, but she looks all right, just slipped. Triple twist, tremendous. And that's the best they've done so far. Remember, she's only 13 and he's 18.
Just looking at the run of Evgenia's left skate, it looks to me as though she's got a problem there.
So triple Salchow, not coming off. And the lifts are okay and the exits are okay. He's quite strong on them, but without the judges, they're leaving the way open for others to push past them. Well, quite a gentle routine at the start. The highlight of it being the triple twist, which was superb, and a couple of the lifts were very nice indeed, but marred by falls. They're in 10th place at the moment, and I really think that Rogers and Aldred, if they skate well, have a chance of moving up and taking that. They're next on, they've seen it, they'll be sitting backstage watching the marks come up and trying to blank it out, but they have a chance.
They certainly do. They're tremendous competitors, and these two have left the door open. Bitterly disappointing. I have to say that the choice of music, I think, is brilliant. I love that soundtrack, but certainly the first tune, they seem to skate right through to me. It was long notes, good flow to the music, and they were doing short, sharp steps, getting a lot of technical content in there. They didn't really interpret the music at all.
And sometimes you can get, we have to get that content in whilst you're fresh, because it's when you've got the most energy, and maybe that's what they decided to do on the start of the program.
Do you think perhaps they should have chosen a faster bit of music, perhaps for the beginning, and used the long, powerful piece for the end, perhaps?
I think for me, I quite like the idea of the theme right the way through it. But then you really need to have the choreography fitting, as you say, to it. So, and I think the idea is great.
Yes, it's good to see them coming up with costumes that fit the type of music that they've chosen as well.
First mark for
And now the couples keep a routine for 2 years. Maybe next year with more maturity you can work through it.
Right, so the first set of marks for technical merit, and we'll see a lot higher a little bit later on this evening, but not a bad set of marks. And let's hope the judges can keep a little bit more together tonight than they did in the short program yesterday.
Yeah, we did have that 1.3 discrepancy, and I'm sure the referee, Sally-Ann Stapleford, will have had a couple of little words to some of the judges.
There are the marks for presentation. And they shoot straight into the lead. There have been 7 couples competing now.
4-5. Thank you.
So they set the standard.
The next pair
now to the couple lying just behind them, and with, it has to be said, a great opportunity of moving into the top 10, which would of course mean that Great Britain can send 2 pairs next year. So the pressure's on. This is Leslie Rogers and Michael Aldred. Music here from Lawrence of Arabia.
Just a double twist. But well done. And they made the triples.
If only they could have done that yesterday in the short program.
Took a long time getting ready for it. It's a great start. Landed it, just a hand down to throw double axel. Single axel, double toe loop. That's a shame. Attempt at the throw triple Salchow. At their best lift yet. There was a slight hesitation during the first one, but that much smoother. Oh, and just single jumps in the combination. But every bit counts. Well, I don't know. I've seen them skate better than that. It looks a little bit cautious in places. I don't know if the back of things is an injury. There were some very nice bits. The toe loops really could count, and that could push them up into 10th place. But just didn't look like it was flowing. He looked struggling in places.
Yeah, it has to be said, Michael, he doesn't look happy now, and he did look to be struggling. Doubled out on singled out on the toe, and the axle.
Maybe he's had a virus or something. I mean, the style that came over in the short, it was there to a degree, but it didn't have quite that confidence and flow. And it was... He looks...
He doesn't look happy, that's for sure. Here's one of the highlights, the throw double axle. 2.5 turns in the air, and my word, she did well to hang on to that. Hand down, hung on to that toe rake. And from that point, it looked as though things were going well, but it seemed to fall apart a little bit in the middle. He's going for the double axles. He stepped forwards early, singles there. And it looked as though he was going for the double axle, didn't it?
Yeah, I don't... I mean, I just wonder if it's a virus or something, or if not that, then it was just not on the day, because a couple of the lifts were stuttering to me. I was thinking, this isn't what I know they can do. There's not this flow, this power. And,
yes, we've certainly seen them skate a lot faster across the ice.
Yeah.
Here's that throw triple Salchow. She seemed to get away from him a little bit at the beginning there, and you could see they didn't have the lift, and consequently she didn't make the rotation. 3 turns required in that.
Leslie Rogers,
So now the marks, very crucial indeed. 4.2 from Germany and the Czech Republic, going up to 4.9. 4.6 from Great Britain.
4.7. 4.6.
not bad marks.
Remember, it is the Ukrainians that they're trying to beat.
Second mark.
I think they could have done enough to do that too.
Yes, they do. So they go into the top 10, and that is outstanding.
4.7.
5 to 4, they've done it. Fantastic.
4.8. 4.7. 4.8.
It's Haddad and Prive who go onto the ice next. They're lying in 9th place.
The next pair is line-headed Sylvain Prive, France.
So there they are, the number 2s from France. This is Lynn Haddad and Sylvain Prive.
Triple Salchows to start. Double twist and lots of speed over the ice. The judges, of course, looking not just at what people do, but how they do it. The throw triple Salchow, well executed. This is a packed opening minute of the program. Lovely lift with a star and the somersault and the dismount. And the music's Scheherazade. And that little movement a moment ago, very innovative. Lots of strength with the one arm put down. A great throw double axel. This really is a packed program. They're not stopping at all. Well, without doubt, that's the best I've seen them skate. A really scintillating performance. Right from the opening triple Salchows, going right up to the end with a throw double axel. Well choreographed, giving them time to relax after that opening minute. The music just slowing down a second. They got their breath back, then they pushed right through. Very strong, very fit. Lots of artistry and some innovation as well. Great performance.
Certainly was. Well, they've never been in the top 10 in the European Championships. They were 12th in 92 and 12th in 94. So this, by far and away, the best result for them. Remember, lying in 9th place at the moment, and who's to say that they won't finish higher than that? Outstanding performance. A lot of courage shown in there. And we were saying yesterday, Nikki, how the spirit of the French team helps each other. Perhaps that performance will help Sarah Abitbol and Stéphane Bernardi, who go in the next group.
It could well do. When your teammates come back into the changing room, you say, how do they do? And they go, oh, it was great. Well, it can help a little bit. The last thing you want them to say is it was terrible.
For sure. You can see in the background there the skaters just waiting to go on for the second group. Here's one of the opening movements, side-by-side triple Salchows. You can see a slight touchdown there from Lynn, but the important thing was she kept it going.
That was tremendous.
Throw double axel, beautiful. Well, they're the marks for technical merit. 4.8 through to 5.1, and that's a good set of marks. Presentation marks, they're good as well. 5.3s there, down to 4.9. Every judge has them in first place at the moment, and rightly so. Annick Gelhagier there, alongside Pierre Tront, and they'll be very pleased with their product. His European Championships, lying in 8th place at the moment. This is Sylvia Dimitrov and Rico Rex.
Yes, just made the triple toe loops. Choreography giving them a little chance to get the feel of the ice with the lift and the forward inside death spiral, and then breaking into the technical content. Double twist. Going well so far. So triple Salchow clean, very good. Quite a good lift, but not really the speed or flow over the ice in it. Makes it a little less impressive. Throw double axel. That was impressive.
That was gorgeous. That was one out of the top draw for sure. That's a shame, just over-rotating on the side-by-side double axels.
Just looking a little bit tired, I think. Well, a lot of technical content in that routine. The throw triple Salchow, and in particular, their throw double axel, that was a corker. Highlights there. I think if anything, I'd say a little bit more down in the knee. They looked like they could get a lot more power, a lot more speed at certain places. And just perhaps the music, it was well choreographed because it had a fast bit and then it allowed them to get their breath back. But I just felt at times that the breathing points were just slightly too long, and there wasn't that feeling of driving through the program that could give it a bit more excitement. But a lot of good stuff, and obviously they can jump very well, and they showed that off well.
Yes, I go along with you with the music, the choice of music from Going Home, and towards the end particularly, they seemed tired and the music seemed to drag on a little bit, and it sort of lost the excitement for me. But some great elements, and that throw double axel was probably one of the best that they've ever done. You won't see an awful lot better than that tonight. There, the triple toes. You can see her leaning forwards on the landing of that. Now, she did that not as badly in the short program yesterday. She does have a tendency to drop her head coming out of the jumps, which just lets the top half of the body go. There's the throw triple Salchow again. There's the lean. She managed to keep her head up.
Nice clean edge on the landing. She's quite determined to land them.
Yes, it's good use of the knee bend as well, which I think gives her that little bit extra time to get control of the skate on the landing of all the jumps. There's that camera angle again.
And they have some good lines. It's, I think there is potential for them to really get much faster. There is that throw double axel.
I'm sure that felt great. Shame the side-by-side double axels didn't work as well.
You can see they're not surprised by getting that one. Here it is.
If you can watch, she just snatched at it a little bit, pulled the shoulders round going in, and all credit to them for making the double flips after. Certainly a long pause now while the judges sort out what they're going to do with these two. Remember, lying in 8th place after the short is their first time into the top 10. 11th in the European Championships last year, 18th in the World Championships. Monika Scheiber sat alongside them. Of course, she's the coach, as the same coach as Wurzelen Steuer, so we'll see her a little bit later on.
Not bad marks at all, and training alongside Wurzelen Steuer really would help them.
Yes, you have to feel for these skaters that come out of a country with not an awful lot of interest in the sport. It's a lot harder for them. Presentation, good marks. Just the Russian judge having them down in 2nd place along with the British and the French. But they slot into the lead.
4-8, 4-8. Thank you.
They'll be hard pushed to stay there.
The next pair is
In this
Dorota
group.
Zagorska, Maja Swidek, Poland.
So they're the next couple up. These two lying in 6th place. Representing Poland, this is Dorota Zagorska and Mariusz Sudek.
triple twist. I wasn't sure he was going to catch her before she landed then, he just made it. And the side-by-side triple toe loops. He pulled it round a little bit, held on. And perhaps the hand down on the throw triple Salchow, but what a packed opening. And it looked like she did that jump on her own. He hardly threw her at all.
She has such quick rotation.
We've been watching some of the Americans and the Canadians and picking the tricks up of the exits of the lifts. Well, what a start. Great length on that throw double axel. I've never seen that before. Backward somersault into star. Very clever. Strong in the single hand on the overhead. A slight stutter on the way out. But that was a packed routine, a mixture of US flair and Russian traditionalism. At times I was wondering which one was leading there. It was Wodzyklitsy and then, you know, the traditional music. But wow, packed program, triple twist, and the throw triple Salchow and throw triple axel. She really can jump.
Yes, she really does have very, very fast rotation. And that gives her a good awareness in the jumps. It started to look a little slow towards the end. Remember, these skaters are performing a program of 4.5 minutes in length, and it takes an awful lot of on-ice and off-ice training to get yourself fit enough to be as strong at the end of that 4.5 minutes as you are at the beginning. And the construction of the program, always very important.
and they really went for it in the opening minute and a half. There was a lot of content there, well done. And I thought the step through on the lift with the somersault dismount was good, and that back somersault into the star lift, very clever.
Yeah, there were some great ideas, even in the spins, weren't they? They'd stolen perhaps some of the best moves from Canada and Russia, as you said, but some great elements. Look at that, hand down on the throw, triple Salchow.
But she was outside him when she took off. At the height.
5-3.
There's the throw double axel, no problems on that one.
5-3.
So the first set of marks, you can hear them being announced. The technical merit, 5-5 there from the Dutch judge,
Second mark.
Jeroen Prins.
5-4.
And there they comfortably go into the lead.
5-3.
French couple are next up, and they're just ahead of them after the short program. So the pressure now on Abitbol and Bernardiz. Great performance from Zagorska and Sudek.
Sarah Abitbol, Stéphane Bernardi, France.
So now to the French national champions. Couple getting stronger with every season. Lying in 5th place, this is Sarah Abitbol and Stéphane Bernardiz.
Triple twist.
Great choice of music from the soundtrack of the film The Untouchables.
Triple toe loops. And they're skating with great confidence. Throw triple loop. The hardest of the throw triples that we've seen so far.
Well, we were talking about entries into lifts. How about that one?
That was great. Double axels, double toe loops to follow. Looked like he was going to pull into it a little bit, but landed it fine. Again, you see the single hand on the overhead. Perfect balance, and doing it late on the program demonstrates Stéphane's fitness and strength. So double axel. And there's some skaters that can inspire an audience, and you're looking at two of them. Soulful choreography, Gallic flair, entertaining and exciting. Brilliant stuff. I liked it.
Yes, I got the feeling you enjoyed that, Nicky. It was great, wasn't it?
They really looked so strong from the moment they got going there, and they mixed the power to the softness. When the music changed, so did they. They really felt it well.
Well, they've invested a lot of money into the sport. They've been training in the United States of America throughout the summer with Mary and Evie Skottvold, and it's paid off. Skating with renewed confidence. Remember, they're lying in 5th place. They've certainly put the pressure on. If the judges go with them, they've got an outside shot of a medal.
Could be pushing up there. That really was a smashing performance. It's great when you can watch each part of the program and it's interesting. It's holding your attention all the time.
That's a great shot. The emotion there just coming out. And you can bet your bottom dollar that their coach, Jean-Roland Raclay, will have been living every second of that performance.
Sometimes the marks don't matter. When you give them the performance of your life, it really doesn't matter.
And that was one of the highlights, the throw triple loop, a very difficult element indeed. And she made it look so easy. Well, they comfortably go into the lead. There's a side-by-side double axels. He made heavy weather of it, but got a great landing.
5, 6, 5, 6.
They gave that everything. The 4.5 minutes that they won't forget.
She looked strained, but it was super.
Certainly was. So now to the couple lying in 7th place. This the final couple in the penultimate group. This is Elena Belousovskaya and Sergei Putolov.
Throw triple Salchow. She just seemed to accelerate into that one. Double twist. Nice triple toe loops. Perfect balance in the overhead. Very difficult position. Once again, a themed routine, Spartacus the music. Clever idea. There was just a little slip out of that spin. Just single Salchows. Just managed to land the double axel. And again, holding on to the side-by-side. But it's not as clean as we'd like it to be. I just had the suspicion that they were looking tired, and he didn't seem to have the strength to hold that lift up either. Well, a great idea for a routine. They had the costumes, and certainly at times they had the choreography, but I just have a question here about his fitness. It really didn't look like they had the power to really deliver that routine as they can do, and there were times when it lagged a little bit, and you saw towards the end a couple of mistakes on the spins. And sometimes in the run-up to a championship, if you can't keep it going, get a little virus or something, it breaks up the training schedule. It can really show itself when the chips are down and you've been there at the just having maybe 1 or 2 practices a day for a week.
There was a lot of courage shown, though, wasn't there? Because there was a point in the middle section where I thought that he, in particular, was dead and buried. It looked as though there was no coming back. And then they managed to get the throw double axel out and the side-by-side double axels, which, all credit to them. He over-rotated at the end, but, my word, did he fight?
There's a lot of guts in not just singling out, but really going for those jumps.
Yeah, that's important. So often we see skaters that are feeling bad or not got the feeling on the day and just singling out of the jumps. Not in the case of these two. They went for everything.
And the throw triple Salchow at the beginning was excellent. The music's quite demanding from a choreographic point of view, I think, because at the end it really is going for it, and there you need all your batteries to be firing. And if it's not quite right, the effect that comes over doesn't have that strength.
There's the side-by-side triple toe loops.
He was fine there. That's what he's normally like.
He certainly looks strong at the beginning of the program. And it's amazing to me as well how if you're not feeling as good as you can and things aren't going as well as you want, that 4.5 minutes seems like 8.5 minutes, doesn't it?
Yeah, particularly halfway through it.
There you can see him just singling out of the Salchow. She was able to get 2 turns on hers.
I think it was around that time I was starting to think he doesn't look to be quite as sure as he would normally be.
Now, when you get a little tired, you tend to tighten up a bit. The knees don't work for you. There's that throw double axel. She did well there. A little bit of a lean on the landing, but hung on in there. The courage shining through. Remember, these two lying in 7th place just ahead of Dimitrov and Rex, the German couple that started this group. Not a bad set of marks, 4.8 from the German.
Thank you.
That's Elfried
Second
Beyer.
mark.
And
5-1.
4-7, fifth
5-2,
place from the
5-2,
German, and they go into
5-3,
third place at the moment,
4-8, 5-2, 5-1.
which will probably keep them ahead of Dimitrov and Rex. We'll take a break. The ice is being... And they're the couple that will get this final group underway. Lying in fourth place, in with a chance of a medal here. Representing Russia, this is Maria Petrova and Anton Sigurlitz.
Great start, lovely quality in the side-by-side triple toe loops, and lots of strength down in the knee, a softness, loads of speed. Double axels. Triple twist, just a little bit hitting into him on the landing. Throw triple Salchow.
Well, she had so much lift on that, you could see her opening out at the top of the jump.
Lovely start to that routine, packed with technical content and all done superbly. Throw triple toe loop.
Again, tremendous elevation.
She's very tight in the air. Great rotation. Well, that was a great routine. Just towards the end, they were getting a little bit tired, and who can blame them? The toe loop side by side, the throw triple Salchow, throw triple toe loop, superb quality, and they have this lovely stroking style of the ice. It just seemed to me that if they can get that extra power in the last bit of the routine, then really they'll be pushing up even more.
Well, it really was outstanding, and they've put the pressure on the top three skaters. They're in with a chance of a medal.
The technical content, it was really packed right the way through, and superb quality in it. The only thing, just on the death spirals, they could get a fraction lower. Everything else was lovely.
Well, these two stepped in at the last minute as reserves for Shishkova and Naumov, who are suffering with a virus and had to withdraw.
And they've really grasped the opportunity, I think.
They certainly have. They were 6th in both the European and the World Championships last year. Twice winners of the Junior World Championships, 94 and 95. So experienced competitors, and using all of that experience to good cause. Talking of experienced people, they don't come much more experienced than the lady that was in the picture there a moment ago. Tamara Moscovina, coach of Dmitriev and Kazakova, who will go next.
And things like furry lines are very important for a program. You've just got to have them.
So we can't see the marks. There they are. Very good indeed. 3 5.6s down to 5.3.
Second mark.
And look at that. Second place, 5-2, a third place in there from the French judge.
Can't see that myself. There were some lovely movements in that.
Well, second place it is at the moment, behind Sarah Abitbol and Stefan Bernardi. So things looking good for the French couple. As the couple lying in second place going into the free take to the ice now. Again from Russia. This is Oksana Kazakova and Artur Dmitriev.
Triple toe loops.
And the timing on that was perfect.
Double axels. Looked like they pulled out of the twist there.
Yeah, no doubt setting up the triple twist and not going through with it. Now for the throw triple toe.
Tremendous. It looked like she almost delayed the rotation on that. Lovely choreography. Great throw, triple Salchow. Lovely height, very sure. and she's very graceful. That's different. Very nice. And the speciality, not quite as fast as we've seen it yet before. And he was definitely going for it at the end there with the split jump. Something you shouldn't try at home, Chris, I don't think. The one question is that twist being left out, will that make a difference? Sometimes just one thing can give the judges the reason to not push them up there. They had nothing to lose, really. Tremendous couple of throws in that, the toe loop and the Salchow. It wasn't quite as great as the short program was, and at one point, you know, about 3/4 of the way in, I thought, oh, this doesn't have quite the impact of the French. And then right at the end, there it was. You know, this is the finale, this is brilliant, and it brings the crowd to their feet.
Well, I think there was an awful lot to admire in that program. They haven't been together for a year yet, and one thing that struck me was the quality of the shadow skating. To actually know the move of your partner as well as they seem to do was quite amazing. Here, side-by-side jumps. Look at the timing. Artur glancing across all the time, making sure that every movement is bang on time and matches perfectly with his partner.
And you wouldn't think this was their first Europeans.
No, not at all.
The jumps are so sure.
Fantastic. The distance between them throughout all the shadow moves stayed identical. Here's a throw, triple Salchow. Very short back inside edge on the takeoff. But what about that for a landing?
5, 6.
She made it look like a double.
5, 7.
Well, there's the marks.
5, 8.
They speak for themselves. 5-8 there from the Ukraine and Greece.
5,
Down to 5.4.
Thank you.
From Laura McNair from Great Britain. Now the second mark, they should be great, and they are. 5.9s in there. A second place from Laura McNair, but all the other judges have them firmly in the lead. They set the standard. Oksana Kazakova, Artur Dmitriev lead for Russia.
Marina Eltsova and Vey Boshkov, Russia.
So now